And can you hear me now live? Yes, I'm hoping so. Yes, fantastic. There we go. All right, 3 minutes after 7. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Jumailang, Khoya Aunt, to the viewers, listeners of Salam Media, those on Instagram, those on the Facebook Live app, those on Salam Media on the Twitter, Instagram, as well as the YouTube page. We welcome one and all. Also, those streaming in via the website on www.salammedia.com/listen dash live. Right. Welcome this Friday night live with me, ST Sarfaraz Takolia, your host for the next 2 hours or so, inshallah. So coming up, obviously, we make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity yet again. Alhamdulillah, it's, it's about 5 days, yeah. 4 days since Eid, Alhamdulillah, and we reflect, come post Ramadan, how the month of Ramadan has been for us, Alhamdulillah, by the mercy of our Creator, our Sustainer. We are still continuing, we are still living, and we are thankful in this regard. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the greatest, He is the provider, He is the sustainer, He's the nourisher and the cherisher indeed. We welcome one and all. You can WhatsApp us on 0617660355. Coming up on tonight's program, we're going to be talking sport amid the coronavirus pandemic, epidemic, and this whole lockdown situation. Right? So it's affected a lot of different types of sports. Many fields of sport have been affected. We are going to be speaking to a sports pundit, Mubeen Mohammed. We'll be chatting regarding cricket. Obviously, the Proteas in August are going to be playing against India. England are going to be playing against Pakistan. But earlier on in the summer, Australia have announced their intention of playing against West Indies and Afghanistan. EPL action, football lovers, Liverpool fans. You might not be walking alone any longer. You never know. EPL continues on the 17th of June. The Bundesliga results. We're going to be discussing that as well with Mubeen Mohammed. Also, Super Rugby. Yeah, on the 13th of June, only in New Zealand. Now, this is obviously going to impact many of the southern hemisphere teams, the likes of your teams in Argentina, South Africa, etc. And the Stormers and the Bulls. And we're going to be discussing the Bulls and the Stormers and the Sharks as well in depth with Mubeen Mohammed, a sports pundit. Thereafter, our F1 correspondent and enthusiast Yusuf Sahib and I will be discussing. The FIA have basically approved a reduced 2021 F1 cost cap. Right, and new sliding scale rules for testing and how these things all play out. Now, this might sound a bit hectic. Also, the organizers have confirmed that the Dutch Grand Prix will not be held in 2020 as well. So, for F1 enthusiasts, that's for you. We're also going to be discussing the impact as to what these rules will have on racing in this regard, inshallah. Then, we're going to be talking to Cindy from SAPIA, which is the South African Petroleum Industry Association. Now, the topic of discussion here, right, I'm sure you've seen maybe in the news, for those who follow the news, or for those who might not, right? There's been lots of talk about SA being hit by a diesel shortage and what's going to be happening in this regard. So we're going to be speaking to Cindy from the SA Petroleum Industry Association, exactly the easing of the lockdown restrictions on stage 4 and 5. The economy is opening up. Why are we having a shortage all of a sudden? Is demand, causing an impact? Lack of supply due to the ports being closed, etc. We're going to hear their point of view. I'm also going to ask maybe a bit about regarding the pricing point, but that's a whole different chapter. But something for us to consider. Hence all of these factors are coming into play as well. Thereafter, in the food segment, we're going to talk to a business called Clenergy. All right. We're going to be speaking to Tasneem and Abdullah Mia, who are the owners and founders of Clenergy as well. In this regard, we're going to talk about the world's first ever anti-aging restaurant. Yes, it's an anti-aging restaurant. Have you been there? What was your experience like? Send through your feedback, your comments down below on the Instagram and Facebook platforms, on Twitter as well. Or you can WhatsApp us on 061 766 A question I'd like to ask you, what are some of your reflections post Eid, Alhamdulillah, and regarding obviously now South Africa, which might be hit with a diesel shortage. How are you gonna? What are some of your anticipations and expectations there as well? I know many menfolk have been sitting bored regarding sport because there's not been much activity as well. Lastly, in our Tech Talk segment tonight, something very interesting, something very pertinent. Did you know? Right. So there's something called IP address for those who are in the ICT industry. There's been an IP address heist, and there's various talking points regarding this. We are going to be discussing how people have made millions from sharing your personal information. There and more still to come. It's 10 minutes after 7 p.m. right here in Johannesburg, South Africa, coming to you live. This is Friday Night Live with me, ST Itaola.
Stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Are you looking for a cross-border road transport company that is committed in achieving high safety standards, who is fast and efficient, and also excel in customer service? Gardi Global specializes in cross-border transport from South Africa to Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Malawi. Gardi Global, situated at 10 Daniel Road, Benrose, Johannesburg. For inquiries, contact our trained staff on 011 614 3108 or email info@gardiglobal.co.za. Safe long haul into Africa is our business. Gardi Global Transport.
With over 80 years of experience, IG Hussein and Company are renowned for their quality Islamic wear and goods. IG Hussein and Company stock a variety of Islamic items, musallas, kitabs, Medina dates, perfumes and exclusive gifts. We guarantee you a unique and friendly shopping experience for the entire family. Visit our new branch in Overport at 202 Kenilworth Park, Brickfield Road. Open 7 days a week with ample parking and wheelchair friendly. Like us on Facebook or Instagram at IG Hussein for our latest promotions and updates. IG Hussein and Company, your Islamic lifestyle. Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Welcome back to Salam Media. Right, it's just about 10 minutes after 7 p.m. Welcome back. Now, I'm talking to a sport pundit, Mubeen Mohammed. And inshallah, in a few moments, my team is getting him live on air. For those who are on Instagram, unfortunately, you cannot obviously watch that part because obviously this is now going to be live on Facebook as we are about to engage now. And my team, I see them, we've got Mubeen on cam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Mubeen. Good evening to you, brother. Welcome to Friday.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's an honor to be here tonight. Shukran for the lovely invite.
Alhamdulillah, and it's great to have you with us. Now, tonight we're talking about a whole lot of different sports, right? We're discussing football, the EPL action. We're talking Super Rugby. I believe, obviously, New Zealand teams are going to be engaging in the game. Bundesliga results, I'd like to talk about and highlight some of that as well. Also, cricket action. Cricket is going to be pumping in the summer. Which we're hoping for to make up for this lost time. And for our summer, I mean, our summer ends normally around, give or take, March to be precise, you know. And we're looking forward to that. So first off, I'd like to start with, let's start with cricket. Now, you know, in response to Cricket South Africa talking about the level 3 non-contact sport, all right? We know the regulations have been in place over the last few months, so to say, or weeks or whatever. There's been, you know, a total lack of any sport being played and public gatherings. Now, non-contact sport, CSA coming out during level 3 lockdown, right? We do know that a part of cricket is a contact sport. You are coming in contact when you're running across the pitch, right, bumping to the boulders. Some of the bowlers bowled you while you are running, try and do that. So they come out with a statement. What do you make of it? Yes, one thing as Cricket South Africa now, and Graham Smith obviously being the head, and during the lockdown period now, has to show authority, use, come with some objective. Do you think he's using this narrative correctly during stage 3? And ultimately, obviously, he's going to play the card towards his favor. I mean, as he's just been appointed, given the responsibility as head of CSA now.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum to all the listeners. Yes, first of all, brother, it's lovely to be here tonight. I just want to say, yes, Graham Smith, he's been appointed permanent director, as we know, for CSA. He was on a temporary basis, obviously, from December onwards till March, the 3-month basis. He's been given, obviously, the slot of permanent now. So, well, in terms of the government rules and the level 3 that they explained about the non-contact sport, yes, it is a bit perplexing at times, because just contact sport, so easily difficult to avoid knocking each other and bumping into each other. But at the moment, the government has CSA has contacted the government and has asked for permission for the South Africa versus India series to take place in August, inshallah. This is obviously with permission from the CSA and obviously the government to go ahead. And this is obviously preparation going towards the ICC T20 World Cup, which hopefully takes place in October and November. Inshallah, we hold thumbs, we hold big thumbs, because a lot of people look forward to this tournament. So yes, Graham Smith is just going to have to try his best at the moment. His hands are tied. So at the moment, it's just basically a waiting game for CSA and the government just to get the go-ahead for the India tour taking place hopefully in August.
Now, on this point of obviously non-contact, when it comes to contact sport, I mean, there's lots of talking points and the debate can continue. But, other sporting fraternities like SAFA and, the Olympic Organizing Committee as well, and various other track and field sports, rugby union, SARU, they've had to obviously, I'm sure, sit with the minister right now and roll out these regulations in place because of contact sport, non-contact sport. It makes one wonder, when it comes to that of bowling as a sport, which many of the old school people are still involved in, whether they will be a part of it. But that's looking obviously as another talking point, but such something to ponder about. Now, moving on to obviously what you mentioned regarding cricket. Very interesting, right? England and Pakistan, they're going to be engaging in a furious battle, because we know obviously the history and historic matches, obviously with the big names, who come to the fore, bring a lot of pedigree out of that encounters, right? We've seen Pakistan's leading batsmen, show talent and records as well in this regard. And we want to also engage with regards to the upcoming matches that you anticipate regarding cricket, the momentum, right? There's been a lack of momentum totally. What do you feel, in your opinion, could motivate players now? Because they've had about a 4-month break now. Normally they're being pushed, training regimens, etc. How do you think this is going to impact performance of the teams overall? Are we going to be able to expect what we normally used to be watching, or are we going to watch a totally different game being played, where players who we thought would perform at their best are going to be lacking? And is it going to be a whole different build up to the ICC? Normally there's hype, there's that thrust, players are giving their all, players are on form. Now with this whole COVID situation, lack of supporters in the grounds, etc., all of these are contributing factors. What do you make of it?
Yes, Brother Silfras. So first of all, we just want to say to the listeners or the viewers, it's been very frustrating for the players sitting at home, obviously, and spending time with their family and their immediate family at home. So many of the players have been given fitness and conditioning regimes from the respective sides. So, for example, the Pakistan national side and the English national side, they've been getting fitness and conditioning programs from the respective coaching and medical teams as well. So many of the players have been keeping fit, but like you said, the important part will be the match fitness. Will they still be very sharp? Will the players be will they be match fit? Will they be ready? Will the sharpness be
Yeah.
there? Will they be able to perform
Yes.
without people there? You know, that will be the difficult part. And I think most countries have realized that. But be it as it may, I think the players will be very excited to be back. Let's be honest, because most of them have just been at home, and it's been a very frustrating period. And many players have come out and said they've got lots of anxiety. Some players are becoming depressed as well. So this is very sad to see. But with regards to the England vs Pakistan series as well, the PCB chief Wasim Khan has come out and said that the Pakistan side will tour England, and they will arrive 2 weeks before the start of the tour, which will be in mid-July, so that the players can customize to the conditions, and they'll stay in quarantine as well.
Climatize
Yes.
to the environment.
They'll
Yes.
climatize the environment. They'll be in quarantine for 2 weeks first of all, and then players will be regularly checked, obviously screened for the COVID-19, and then all 25 players will be stationed there in London, and they'll be staying for the 3 test match series. The 3 test matches will take place in August, and then the 3 one-days as well. Oh, sorry, 3 T20s. So it's 3 T20s and 3 tests that will take place, and all 25 players will be there. So the reason for this is because Misbah Haq, the director, has mentioned that they won't be able to call on any replacements because of the 2-week quarantine period. So just the news on that Pakistan will be touring England, and that's a very, very exciting series. As you said before, that you like to see the big players performing. I think most people want to see Baba Azam perform. He's the star at the moment. And
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
He's one of the best players at the moment. He's number 1 in T20, number 1 batsman in T20. So many people are comparing him to Steve Smith and Virat Kohli. So it will be interesting if he can continue his good form. And obviously, he's been given the captaincy role as well. So let's see if he can handle the pressure of being captain and number 1 batsman.
And also maintaining that consistency of the momentum in that regard as well. Let's move on to the other talking point now. I'd like to move on to football. We start off with the EPL, right? We know around June 17, which I've been so anticipating, because come Saturday afternoons, you know, the channels are just with old classics. And we're tired of seeing Gary Neville's and Ryan Giggs sharing their memories and Steve McManaman about Real Madrid. We're tired, to be honest, with no disregard to any of the organizations or broadcasters, but there's only so much. Now, EPL starting on June 17. Lots of transfer talk has been obviously happening as usual, because August is not too far. Liverpool being 3 games away or so from clinching the title. Newcastle's acquiring by the Saudi investment group, obviously headed by Prince Mohammed bin Salman. That could very well be one of the most richest teams in the EPL right now, with a transfer budget. You know, he doesn't have a cap. You know, I'd like to say an uncapped transfer budget. There was talk. Big name management positions available for, you know, the likes of your Carlo Ancelotti's. Maybe, you know, Arsene Wenger, could hit a surprise move. There was lots of different talk regarding that as well. Man United and their aspirations to come to the top 4, maintain the spot there for the Champions League qualification. The battle was continuing before lockdown, obviously with Chelsea. We do know that the bottom end, we've seen the likes of Norwich struggling, Aston Villa made a very impressive campaign. It was in the cup, but unfortunately lost out, could not maintain that momentum. So there's lots of different things. Let's start off firstly with regards to the transfer situation in Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool fans are just waiting. There was a joke that went on the other day. Liverpool might have to wait another year for their team to get another league title. But in all fairness, based on the numbers and on paper, they obviously are the champions.
No, definitely. First of all, first surprise, the Liverpool. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm a Man United fan. But I have to say that Liverpool
Salute,
deserve to win this league.
salute, salute.
I'm
Oops.
a Liverpool fan. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I'll give them credit and say, they deserve to win the league. They've played very good football. It's been consistent football. Their players have performed right from their bench players to their starting players. The manager's given clear instructions to the players, and you can see it's a very happy side that's winning all the time. So I think this COVID-19 actually sort of halted the momentum now, and many Liverpool fans were worried, will they be able to win the league now at the moment? Will the league go ahead? But I'm sure now with the news of June 17th coming, it's on our doorstep at the moment. Most fans are very, very happy, especially our Liverpool South African fans are very, very happy. In regards to the transfer market, I know for a fact that Paul Pogba, he's coming back from injury at the moment. So he's looking to sign at a new club at the moment. He wants to stay at Man United, but reports suggest that he wants to perhaps move to another club. He could be moving to Real Madrid. He could be going to Liverpool at the stage. We don't actually know. But there's several reports telling us that he's the main guy for the transfer market that many clubs are targeting. So let's see what happens in that regard. And then just with Liverpool's quest to win the league, they definitely, I'm sure they'll, if we look at the form and the way they've played this year, they definitely should win those 3 games and wrap up the league. So yeah, that's all we can really say about that. And then with regards to the managers, yes, will Arsene Wenger come back? That's a question. That's a question for Arsene to answer. I don't think he will come back. He's a very loyal man to Arsenal, so I can't see him coaching or managing another side. Maybe you can answer for us. I don't see him as he's an Arsenal legend through and through. He's done so much for that club, won so many leagues and so many FA Cups for them. I highly doubt that he will move to another club.
I could see a Alan Shearer coming to Newcastle.
That was I was going to touch on that. I was to touch on with these Saudi Arabian, the Arabs coming in and investing the money and pumping the money in. Newcastle could be a big club in the future, as you've seen in the past with the Roman Abramovich coming in from Russia as well. I mean, remember he coming from 2004. He came to Chelsea and he brought in Jose Mourinho. He brought in a whole lot of superstars, and Chelsea won trophies. They brought in money. So the same recipe could be brought to Newcastle as well. I'm sure many people watching that space if the Saudi Arabians take over that club.
Well, talks are being underway, and we know that they have been they are drawing to a close, as per obviously the Sky Sports pundits as well there. Let's move on to the final segment before we wrap up. Mubeen, Super Rugby on the 13th of June will obviously commence, but as it's understood currently, that New Zealand teams basically will be partaking. What's going to happen to South African teams and teams like in Argentina or South America and this part of the hemisphere?
Well, currently, just first of all, it will just be very nice to watch live rugby again. Even though it's New Zealand, they are arch rivals. So
at least there's rugby.
Yes, rugby. So at least there'll be some rugby, although it's Kiwi sides going at each other, New Zealand sides going at each other. There'll be some rugby for the rugby fans in South Africa to be excited at least about, or look forward to. With regards to South African sides, many of the South African franchises have been engaging with the government at the moment. At the moment, there is no signal at the moment from any of the Super Rugby sides from South Africa or Currie Cup sides if Super Rugby will go ahead for South African sides and the Currie Cup as well. So in that regard, there's sort of an uncertainty at the moment. It doesn't seem like we're playing any Super Rugby amongst the South African franchises. I know in Australia, they have given a proposal for the Australian sides to go ahead. The government is just waiting to give the go-ahead for Australia. So there should be a rugby shoot in Australia as well. With regards to Japan and Argentina, there's been absolutely no signal from SANZAR. Andy Manuos hasn't given us any signal. So I think they're pretty much in the same boat as South Africa at the moment. But as we know, just the last touch, as we know, the South African franchises, although they're not playing, they've been signing many players. Jake White specifically at the Bulls, he's been signing a lot of marquee players and looking to strengthen his side, So when Super Rugby starts next year, with the British Lions coming up in 2021, many of the Super Rugby African sides, they sort of trying to make these sides very strong so they can compete and win Super Rugby. So we've seen that Jake White has brought in Theo Apollon already. He's brought in Arno Botha. He's brought in Jason Jenkins and many others. And today as well, he brought in Skalk Erasmus. And there's another two signings as well. The two young Creel brothers, they've been signed from under 21s as well. So Jake has been very, very busy. And then also in terms of my
showing
side,
intent, obviously.
He's showing 10, yes, he's showing his 10. And he's also brought in a few coaching personnels. I was about to touch on that as well. He's brought in Joey Mangalo from your area, Johannesburg, from the Lions. He's brought him as a defense coach in. So there's a new guy in the backroom staff as well. And then also from Cape Town, he's brought in the former Stormers forwards coach, Russell Winter. So Jake has been a very, very busy man at the moment. He's been doing all his meetings and stuff, yes. And obviously, with we've just spoken about Newcastle being pumping money into soccer, or the Arabs pumping money to Newcastle, they see that as a future.
Yeah.
And the Bulls, Patrice Motsepe and the Johan Rupert, they've been putting lots of money into the Bulls. So that's the reason why Jake has been signing all these players, because there's a lot of money available. So he's brought in all these coaching guys in, he's brought in all these players in as well. So as we can see now, with the money available and the resources available, you can definitely make a winning side. And I think the Bulls, they're going to be back next year. We have to watch. We have to keep a close eye on them. And then lastly as well, two Bulls players have left as well. Mani Lubbock has signed for the Sharks as well, the flyer for the Bulls. And then also Warwick Galant, the World Cup winning Springbok fullback, was part of Rassie Erasmus' winning World Cup side last year. He's coming down to Cape Town, so that's some good news for my team Stormers. So I hope that wraps up the rugby. Is there anything else you would like to?
On the point you mentioned about money, right? I was just thinking, if I was Victor Matfield sitting right now, yes, like, wouldn't I wish I was 10 years younger, with all this money? But I mean, he achieved so much, yet with the financial budget not being to that extent of obviously the Johan Ruperts and the Motsepes. But yeah, Mubeen Mohammed, Jazakallah khair for your time, my brother. That's where we leave it tonight. And until we have another chat live on air, awesome chatting, my man. You keep well, stay safe with the corona, and enjoy the sports. Assalamu alaikum. Sports pundit Mubeen Mohammed there. About the EPL starting on June 17th, Cricket South Africa's announcement regarding a level 3 non-contact sport, also the tour of England and Pakistan, as well as the anticipated games. Obviously Australia are going to be taking on the West Indies and Afghanistan. South Africa, the Proteas in August, they're going to match up against India. That's going to be really awesome and interesting. This obviously being the build-up towards then what will be, inshallah, the ICC World Cup, the T20 World Cup as well. Going to be great to see what happens. It's now 7:30 on the dot. We take a quick ad break. When we come back, we cross over. We chat to our F1 enthusiast and correspondent, Yusuf Saib. This is Friday Night Live with ST.
Listen to Salam Media